Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 27th through the 5th of March. I'm laughing because I tried to say that a minute ago and it came out sun runes, like rising and moons together, whatever, right? Okay, so, wow, it looks like you're in for a week. So I don't want to say anything now until I get all the cards out because... Yeah, I knew this was going to be tough. I just did the Scorpio reading. Theirs was tough. And you guys have a lot of similar kinds of energies happening right now. So let's, okay. Key to the situation, we have this Five of Cups. This is the moving on. This is the, okay, I'm done. It's so funny because I had said when I flipped up the next one, because after Scorpio, then I flipped the card, and next up came Gemini, and I said, Gemini is like done with that shit. And I said, I don't know what that shit is, but they're done with it. And so Spirit, you know, was already giving me the heads up, and here you are, you're done with that shit, whatever that is, and you're moving forward. So your overall energy here, we have like, what a combination. We have the Devil and we have the Empress. This is knowing your value and knowing your worth. This is you saying, you know what, nobody gets to tell me what to do. Nobody controls my life. I am the creator of my own life. I co-create with Spirit, and I get to create what the heck I want. And I don't have to put up with that stuff anymore. I really just don't. So let's dive in. We're going to get some guidance here from Archangel Gabriel coming through today. So let's just see what we have. You've been feeling trapped, and you've been trying to figure out how to get out of this trap with this Eight of Swords here, right? This is where you've been seeking the information and the knowledge. How do I get out of this situation? And the thing about the Eight of Swords is that you weren't really stuck. But sometimes, because it's a mole, okay, so this is really interesting. It's a mole, and these swords are all around its little hole. It can't really see its way out. So it's got to feel its way out. It's going to have to find the openings. There are openings, but at first it feels like it's blocked. But because moles are blind, they can't see, okay? But it looks like he's got his head and one leg poked through. It's almost as though I think he can figure it out. Like you're really close. In the heart space, the thing that's been, you have 3 8s here. In the heart space, the thing that's been kind of draining of your energy here is wanting to move forward. Really wanting to move forward, but not really being able to see the way forward. And it feels like it's been taking effing forever. Wow, the words that are coming out. I don't know who my spirit guide team is right now, but ooh. Somebody who feels your frustration, Gemini. Like, whoever this guide is, and that's not Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is here, but whoever this is that keeps saying these things, they are telling me that it has been so frustrating for you because you feel like things should be moving, and why can't you figure this out, and why is this so hard? It shouldn't be hard, and why is it taking so long? Those are the questions that you've been asking. And it's been feeling very, I just get this frustration energy from it. You know, before we go any further, let's get some guidance from Archangel Gabriel, because clearly your guide team is telling you they get it. They feel, they know what you've been saying. They want to say you've been heard. You've been heard. Not hurt, but heard. H-E-A-R-D. They have heard you. They know. And there's something about the timing of the situation that has delayed the process. And of course, that would make sense because Mars retrograding in your sign would have slowed everything down, and it was an opportunity to really take a good hard look at a situation and do some revision within yourself. There was a reconstruction that was going on within you. Mars gets out of your sign though soon, I promise. very soon. I want to say within a matter of weeks. Mars gets out of your sign on the 25th. So in about 4 weeks. So a month from now. And so, but Mars is out of shadow with that full moon. I believe he clears the shadow on that full moon that's happening next week. And so things should start to feel like a big major release and ability to move forward. I haven't recorded the full moon videos yet. I'm hoping to be able to do that, to get them out next week. We're having a nice storm. I'm hoping I get these week's videos out, and then I'll work on those. But you're being told that there was a timing situation. So sometimes it feels like, like when you walk into a building and they're working on a wing and they have it all blocked off, and you're really looking forward to being able to use maybe the new library wing or the new wing of the hospital, whatever, and it says, pardon our dust, we're creating something for you, something wonderful for you. That's what it feels like. And I feel like the anticipation of whatever they're getting ready to open up, you've been really looking forward to it. And why does this have to take so long? Because we've got this Knight of Pentacles sitting here in the challenge position of the mountain to overcome, is like having to feel guarded and looking out and wondering and waiting, when is the moment to go. So Archangel Gabriel says, you have important messages to deliver that can help others, and your idea is divinely inspired. Take action accordingly to set it in motion. You might not have to wait any longer. The moon in Gemini on Monday and Tuesday, and these are the cards for it, are basically saying this week you can start getting stuff done. It's got this real get it done kind of energy. It's great for communication. Really good communicating. If you got to talk to your boss or something about an idea or a project or something after like 1 o'clock Eastern Time Zone US on Tuesday, looks really solid for that. Not Friday. Don't let anybody schedule you off for Friday. If you can, get in there on Monday or Tuesday. Thursday looks good too. Wednesday. Okay, so there's something happening here. You have this 8 of Pentacles here. You have the 8 of Pentacles, which means you can overcome the obstacles. That's the action to take. So this frustration at being stuck in a situation, they're saying move away from it, whatever it is. Whether this is work related, and I think primarily for most of you that somehow this is around finances. For others of you, it could be a relationship situation. Mostly it feels like work. How do you transform this situation? We've got the 10 of Pentacles. So keeping your eye focused on what means abundance to you. What means abundant? What is really abundant, right? So money, yes, that's a form of abundance, but so is emotional abundance. So what's really abundant is when you love the job you work and you still have more than enough time for your family and your social life and all the things that you want to do. And so how can you manifest and create this? And so to transform your life, to create this kind of energy, it really requires you focusing on that as the overall goal, right? This is a year where we take actions that are in alignment with our intention. And so if your intention is to have this, then if you get offered a job that has more money, but it's also way more hours, then is that really in alignment with your goal? So if you pass on that, there will be another opportunity somewhere along the line that comes along. So there's that being patient part. In the area of resources, you have the Death card. This is a big, deep transformation, and the Condor here is reminding you that nothing was wasted. You learned something, you gained knowledge, you gained information, you gained wisdom, and whatever you lost. Okay, because it does feel like when there's a death card there, right? There feels like there was a loss, right, of resources somehow, financial, emotional, spiritual. What am I missing? Physical. Maybe you were ill. Whatever that was, there was a loss involved in order to create the transformation. There was a coming apart situation, but nothing was wasted and you didn't waste your time on it. You didn't lose anything, not really. Nothing that was meant for you was lost. Because the outcome card with this Four of Pentacles, which is a card of savings when it's this little squirrel dude, but if you can really see, oh, maybe it's easier to see on the book cover. If you look, this pentacle down here, it's cracking open and it's sprouting something. And so what you put away, like some of your resources need to be put away for something in the future, to grow something, to propagate something. And so I almost feel like that whatever you think is lost here, there's some part of it, some aspect that is going to allow you to be very successful in the future. Are you going to have to be on a budget, managing your resources really well? Yes. Yes, you are. In the heart space, you've got the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is, wow. This is guarded. Not your usual Seven of Swords. That's a lot of protection around himself. There's strategy involved. I think you've been hurt. They promised you, and when they're saying they promised you, I don't know if they mean a job or a relationship. They promised you the world and did not deliver. And so it feels like you intend to be very, very cautious. Oh my gosh. Look, you guys. I couldn't have asked for a better card to explain what it is I'm feeling here. You have the starfish. It says replacing what was lost. First off, it's the star of hope, right? Also, a starfish, yes, it moves, but it picks up the nutrients and stuff that it needs. It flows to them. So everything that you need will come to you. But a starfish can lose a limb and it regenerates a new one. And so nothing is lost. There's something that wasn't meant for you, but nothing that's meant for you is lost. So you now have the opportunity to rejuvenate and start anew, create a new perspective or outlook. This card also indicates abundance is on the horizon. And so Wednesday, when you're feeling a little out of sorts, that out of sorts energy probably coming around your financial house, especially if you're a Gemini rising. Moon in Cancer is creating a little bit of it's having a little drama day on Wednesday, and that would be in your house of resources. So I feel like you might be feeling very frustrated, but it gets so much better on Thursday. So the nice thing about the energy of the moon is that it changes so frequently. It's still in Cancer. It's still in Cancer on Thursday, but Venus conjuncts Jupiter in Aries, which is in the energy of choice and decision making. It's very supportive energy for any choices and decisions that you choose to make at that time. And we also have up there in the air sign, we've got Mercury and Aquarius coming into conjunction. They're both getting ready to move into Pisces, but they're stopping to have a conversation at 29 degrees, that mature, let's create a structure, let's figure something out. So I think that there's a great energy for you to really get some downloads and insight and feel, right? And feel the hope. The opportunity to feel very hopeful about the future. You really should. That's a great card. And then the moon's going to be in Leo on Friday. 10:16 a.m. I gotta say that is not the day to really be taking any new ideas to your boss. There's some difficult energy around the day. But the weekend looks wonderful. And again, that's in that energy of choice. Fire and air signs get along great. And so having that, whenever it's in a fire sign, is generally good for you. When it's in Sagittarius, because that opposes you, that can create a little stressful dynamics. But when it's in Aries and Leo, really good for you, Gemini. You're not trapped. I know you feel a little trapped, but you're not trapped. Okay, so we have the close encounters, and it's a butterfly on the outside and a butterfly on the inside of the cage. But I feel like the butterfly isn't really trapped, just hasn't figured out how to get out. Let's see what it says here. Vulnerability as a strength, letting others see your wounds as well as your strengths, and setting healthy boundaries. Okay, so this is definitely a healthy boundary, maybe? Is it too much of a boundary? So how do you find that sweet spot, right? And so that is something to really keep yourself open to. So if it is a personal relationship, friends, family, significant other, children, whatever, right? If it's something like that that's hurt you, you got to leave your heart open in order to bring in new opportunities, right? If it's a work situation, it feels like, I'm trying to pin down this feeling exactly. It feels like if you were right-sized out of a business or something like that, it feels like you're like, wow, how can I make sure that I don't end up in that situation again? Right? And so there's going to need to be some planning that you can try to do around that. But at the same time, it feels like more like almost, if this is around finances or a job, this is about having a very clear-eyed view of what happens so that you can limit the opportunity for such a thing to happen again. And so it feels more like an evaluation process there to create boundaries. So, for instance, say you went to work for this. Okay, so my husband got a job as a manager in a brand new chain of restaurants. They literally opened up 3 restaurants at the same time. They decided they were going to have a chain of restaurants. What? And they were really spread thin, the ownership group, and they were trying to micromanage each of the stores and profits. I'm sorry, but honestly, they thought they could beat the whole, it's hard to turn a profit in the first 5 years, you're lucky if you survive restaurant thing, into, well, if we have 3 locations, then we have more opportunity to bring in customers. And no, it still was the same problem. So he went to work for a brand new chain that, by the way, didn't make it, right? And so he ended up getting, right-sized out of that job. So can you take a look around and say, all right, so, well, actually, he didn't. He didn't lose his job. Actually, what happened was I said, you need to get out of that job, go get a different job. And then a few months later, they shut the doors. But he would have lost his job. But that situation right there was, one of those things where can you see that when you go to work for a company, if it's a new company or, their business model doesn't make a lot of sense, paying attention to that, right? Like protecting yourself that way. You have quieting the mind. Meditation as a commitment, the need for silence, peace despite the chaotic outer conditions, and letting go of the monkey mind and creating mindfulness. So again, we go back to the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is so interesting to me. This almost feels like overthinking a situation. It makes it hard for you to get the clarity. So there's almost like there's too many boundaries and too much trying to figure it out. And so it almost feels more like the acceptance of the situation for what it is and what do I need to do next, overcoming the obstacles. Trying to create a safety net for yourself, but still staying open to relationships and networking and allowing people in that can help you. What is really meant for you is not lost. And so I almost feel like you have a choice this week. You can choose to get caught up in the negative, low vibrational energy and allow it to control yourself, because everything's in the energy of choice this week for you. Or you can choose to consider yourself an empress that allows yourself to be open to receiving everything that you need in abundance. It almost feels like a mindset. So be open to receiving the inspiration and the guidance that's coming through, the messages. Archangel Gabriel's trying to bring you in some messages that will allow you to take the next steps. You have a lot of obstacles that you're going to be overcoming. 8 of Pentacles, there's self-mastery in this, right? So in the Devil card, the Devil is about somebody else mastering you. They're the master, they're the boss, and you're being asked to take control of your own life and self-mastery. The 8 of Pentacles, step-by-step process, which moves you toward the Empress energy, being the creator of your own life. Very complicated reading, Gemini. I think it's because you're wrapping up this major cycle. During Gemini season, the North Node is going to shift out of Taurus and it's going to move into Aries, and that's when you really get this push forward. That's just the way the cycle rolls. And so this period of the last year and a half or so, while it's been in the North Node's been in Taurus, has been an opportunity for you to kind of sort through things from what you picked up during the time when the North Node was in your sign. It got there middle of 2020, year and a half or so. And so I think that energy right there is like, oh, okay, wait, what? I think I got it. And so you've been figuring things out. This works for me. That definitely doesn't. That might. And so this sorting process that you're doing, it's time to start letting go of what doesn't, evaluating what could be working, and leaning into what does, and understanding you haven't lost anything. Nothing is lost. And you don't have to be overly guarded, because everything you need will be brought to you. Everything you need will be brought to you. That's what the star says. That's what the Empress says. Everything you need will be brought to you if you can leave yourself open to receiving the messages and the guidance, and then taking the appropriate action that allows you to overcome the obstacles. You gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. Don't forget that. That was probably the most valuable thing that happened, was you gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And now it's going to be time to start applying it. Okay. So, sorry for the spirit guide that likes to swear. That was at the beginning. So I'm on Facebook every day, and I'm going to try really hard to get out full moon readings. We are having an ice storm, so I'm really not sure what the situation is going to be, but that is my intention. All right, you guys take good care, and I'll talk to you soon.